these three guys are a gift and a treasure, not just for the Latino community, but for all of San Francisco. And so that is why I am so honored that they were willing to help put this event together and bring all of you here to meet me and allow me to meet you. I'm going to say just a couple words about why I think this race is significant. For a couple of years, I had the honor of being president of the Harvey Milk Democratic Club. The Vice President for Political Action of the Milk Club, Lynette, is here. Thank you, Lynette. The Milk Club was Harvey Milk's club. It was the San Francisco Gay Democratic Club 30 years ago, and it was renamed for Milk after he was assassinated. Harvey Milk believed, and I say this a lot, but it seems particularly appropriate tonight, Harvey Milk believed in a coalition of people who believed in justice and who looked to government to help those who were looking for hope. And Milk believed that that coalition included gays and lesbians, and now transgender and bisexuals, but also members of minority groups, Latinos, African Americans, the disabled, the elderly, youth. All these groups were part of a coalition together. Now, a couple of nights ago, at a debate, one of my opponents said, well, it's not the same district. This district that elected Harvey Milk has changed, and we have different concerns, and we want a different kind of leadership. And essentially, my opponents, I think, are willing to turn their back on that coalition and say that District 8, the neighborhoods of District 8, the Castro, Noe Valley, Glen Park, our chunk of the mission up there, that part of the city isn't really about the Justice Coalition anymore. I think that's wrong. We have 40 days in which we have to explain that choice to the voters of District 8. I think that there are progressive people out there, that there are people, even they might have more money, but that they still believe, they still believe in this idea of a San Francisco where everybody moves forward together. And we all work together on critical issues like sanctuary, like protecting our youth, like lobbying our federal officials to bring an end to this insane immigration policy where we have millions and millions of people living in the shadows, living in fear. I think that District 8 and the LGBT community particularly should be part of that coalition, and that's why this race is important. Okay, and beyond that, there are all the other issues that matter to communities across the city. Whether we're going to have a public sector that is funded and can provide services for all our communities, whether our muni is going to run, whether we're going to keep our public health hospitals and our community clinics open. All of these questions, whether we are going to do the important work that John Avalos and David Campos are trying to do on the Board of Supervisors with a progressive majority, or whether we're going to turn our back on that idea that San Francisco can be a model and a hope for the rest of the country. And that's what the race is about. That's what the election is about in District 8. And if you live there, I really need you to tell your neighbors. And if you don't live there, I need you to get all your friends. And I need you to come to District 8 because that is where the fight is being fought this year that matters for the future of San Francisco. So I'm really glad that you're here. We can win. We have the endorsements of the Democratic Party, the Green Party, every major environmental organization from the Sierra Club to the League of Conservation Voters to the Bike Coalition. We have Labor and the California Nurses Association and the Hotel Workers and SEIU and Local 21. And we need to communicate with the voters of District 8. And the 3,000 Latino voters in that district need to know that I'm their candidate. I want to thank Stephanie Ashley, who's fantastic, and Nathan Albee, who's also fantastic, and is our field coordinator, and Mary Gomez, who organized this event. Thank you, Mary. And Max Siegel, who keeps track of all of our money. Acknowledge the next judge who's going to be elected in San Francisco. So thank you all for coming. Please come to our office. We're on Market and Sanchez. We have Spanish speakers there, and we need you there. So thank you.
Gracias.